One time in Hull, so Hull, the legal drinking age in Ontario is 19, and the legal drinking age in Quebec is 18. So, oftentimes, 18-year-old Ontarians will cross the border into Hull, which is the first town across the Ontario-Quebec border, in order to get legally drunk and then go home and sleep. So this sets the stage of where I was at. I was 18. We went to Hull. I went to a bar where we sat outside on like Canadian Tire deck chairs. And I was like, I'm a fidgety kid, you know, at that age at least. So I was leaning back on this chair. I was doing like the one-legged deck chair, you know what I mean? When you get like a plastic deck chair and you can lean back on one leg and balance, and you can even kind of go like this a little bit. You can kind of put in a little because there's a flexion on the plastic. Anyway, who would have thought after doing this for about 10 minutes, the leg snapped off, and I was like, oh shit, the bar is gonna make me pay for this deck chair. So I just like moved the chair off to the side and then shoved the broken chair leg like in my waistband and covered it up with my shirt and paid my tab and walked out. And then I remember, this is a real story. I mean, it's not that like crazy. It's just sort of funny. Right after that, we went to like a nightclub. And as soon as I got onto the dance floor, I pulled out the plastic like chair leg and was just holding it up in the club, like, yeah. And then security just came over to me and like grabbed it out of my hands. And then I looked him in the face and he was like, and I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But dude, how cool would that have been? I would be like the guy at the club with a chair leg. Holy cow. People would have been like, whoa, what's that guy up to? He's got the chair leg. Hey, what are you up to, chair leg guy? Nothing much. Just being badass with my chair leg. Legendary moment. We still talk about chair leg guy. Just arrived, heard chair leg guy was here. I knew it. I knew I heard people talking about me. I knew I made it into the cultural consciousness. I'm like the Kingstonian Xanta, but without all the really troubling allegations. So for lore masters in chat, Xanta is a Toronto area street performer who wears a Santa hat and has no shirt on and is insanely jacked. And he would just like, you'd just see him on like the subway or like outside of your school. And he would be talking to himself and like punching himself in the face and stuff like that. But then he would go down and do like 70 push-ups straight. He's kind of like, he was sort of like a local, I don't know, like a folk hero. And then he's maybe on like the sex offender registry or something. Like, I don't really know. He fell from grace in a big way. Say it, he was a hero. I'm not going to say that he was a hero, especially after what I just said. Local lore people are the best. Dude, I mean, honest, every city's got them, right? Like, there's known elements in Kingston for sure. Vancouver's got some. Roller Girl, several unicycle people I see now and then. Sometimes I'll go like 2 years without seeing unicycle people, and then I'll see one of them like ripping it up Mount Pleasant on their unicycle like faster than somebody that's using a real bike, and I'm like, they're still here. They made it through the pandemic. Opera guy, I didn't realize, so there's a guy in Vancouver who walks down Commercial Drive just singing opera. There was a thread like a month ago that was like, has anybody seen Opera Guy lately? I'm worried about him. And I was like, let's see what's up with Opera Guy. And then every single post was just about how much of an asshole he was. I fucking hate Opera Guy. He would always come into my coffee shop and ask for Diet Coke, and we would tell him that we don't have Diet Coke, and then he would go, fa la 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 la, and I'm like, I thought he was just like a guy with, he had some quirks or something like that, but I guess he's going around like just kind of being an asshole to people. Victoria has Darth Fiddler, a guy in a Darth Vader mask on a hoverboard who fiddles. is crazy, man. Honestly, like, that's kind of annoying. But it's also, like, I feel like that's a vestige of what cities used to be like before they got, you know, condos got turned into unregulated bank accounts for the uber rich. And people, like, stopped living in cities and instead just treated them as, like, a savings account. Used to be chock full of crazy characters like that. Nowadays, there's, like, less crazy characters, more investors, and the crazy characters are actually, like, dangerous. They're not like Darth Vader on a hoverboard. It's like, oh yeah, watch out for that guy. He has a knife. That's knife guy. I think I told this before, but there's a guy, like, in our neighborhood, and I see him now and then, but, like, he's like on and he's off. Like, there's some days I see him and he's just walking his dog and he's like smiling. But then one time I was walking with my parents and he was blasting music on his bike and he was coming the other way on the bike lane and he was like, "That's right, baby, we're gonna send all you guys back to your country." He was like looking me dead in the face. "We're gonna send you back to your country where you belong. MAGA 2024, baby. MAGA 2024. And I was like, what the hell's going on with this? We're not even in America. And then I was like, that's really weird. And I was almost a little taken aback. Okay, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then later that day, I was on my patio and I just hear it coming from like a different, around the corner. And then I see him cross with his dog. He's going, "We're going to fix this country. Trump's going to come in here and clean all this stuff up." And I was like, oh, that's just his thing. That's just like, what? Okay. So it went from like being scared to almost being a little bit more like sympathetic. I was like, okay. At first I was like, this guy's about to commit like, I don't know, like a crime or something. But now he's just become a character in the running cast of people that I see in my life. Guy who thinks he lives in America, I guess. But he's not always... And I've seen him, I don't know, maybe like 5 times. 3 out of 5 times he's been spouting that stuff. 2 out of 5 times, it looks like he's just been having a nice walk with his dog. So, I don't know. Still not great, but on average, yeah, 40% chance to not get yelled at when you walk by him. I mean, there's parts of the city where you would have a worse batting average than that, to be honest. I can live with that. Also, I know how this sounds. It sounds like I'm taking his side. But anytime I've been subject to his rhetoric, it's always been when I've like been on my own or walking with other adults. And anytime he's kept quiet around me, it's been because I have my baby, I think. So I'm like, at least he respects the sanctity of the father-daughter walk.